Here's a new spider game, March 9th, 2025. We have a lot of high cards here. 1 king, 1 queen, 3 jacks, 1 10, 2 eights, a 7, and a 6. Following my usual market value rule, the receiving jacks are cheap. So there goes that. Now they're even cheaper since another jack came up. And receiving eights are cheap. So that came up. Now that consideration is out of play for the moment, and might as well put the queen on the king. This is 6 is the shortest pile, but maybe actually, since there are 2 eights, it probably isn't such a bad idea to build something up here, since if a 9 comes up, we'll have something to do anyway, and here we can work on our shorter pile. So let's do that. Oh, another jack. Look at that. We have 5 of the 8 jacks showing already. Well, keep going for our free space if we can. There's a 4, which doesn't connect to anything. Put the 10 over onto this jack. And now I'm looking around for a move. Jack, jack, ace, 8, 6, jack, 4. I don't see any move. I should mention a little bit about this hint feature that I've sometimes used. This is a property of this system. If you click hint, it will highlight for you what it thinks you maybe should do. So for instance, here it's highlighted the jack and the 10, suggesting I could put the 10 on the jack. And if you're really, if you're a real beginner, I suppose that might be helpful, but surely I don't want to do that. Sometimes it will highlight the next deal up here in the upper left. Okay, but here we are with having uncovered a total of 5 cards and having a very uneven mix of jacks, but we shall go on and see what comes next. I'm going to pause more than in the past and experiment with that so that there's less airtime of me simply sitting there thinking. So I did pause after this deal, and I observe, for instance, that I'm always looking for these immovable cards. Well, jacks are not immovable. The 1, 2, 3, 4 relevant jacks have 2 queens to go on, so there's some room for movement there. But I do, for instance, notice that no 7s or 8s are moving. There's no receiving 8s, so that rules out this pile and this pile. There are no receiving 3s, so it rules out this pile as well. Here's the king. So there are really just a couple places that we can move. I mean, this one here is the only one that doesn't involve one of those jacks that I see right off. But I'm going to hold off on that for a moment and see what's over here on the right. Okay, I get a 2. That's nice. There are 2 8s here, so I'm not too worried about junking this up a little bit in my quest to find another card. I turned over the ace. Now here's a 3. Well, a 3 is a nice card, since we can put it on the 4 and expose an in-suit jack here. This is a short pile. We'd really like the idea of that. Of course, if we do this too, then well, no, I guess we get a card for both of them anyway. Okay, so here goes the 3, and we get a 6. Well, let's see. There are 3 receiving 7s, so I can, without much thought, just go ahead and put that down on that. And there is an 8, a receiving 8 now. So this is a good candidate for is a good candidate for a space. So I'd rather not junk it up with something off suit. But on the other hand, let's see what my other options are. I can either take this 2 directly into here, or I can take either of these 2s and then move the jack onto this queen. And I don't know why. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this in suit, I guess. Okay, here's a 5 of spades. That's nice. I can put that on a 6. Now the question is, where do we want this to be? Yes, I have 2 moves left that I know about. I can now put this 5 on this 6, or this 6 if I expose it. And I can put a 7 onto here, and I guess pretty much got to be this 7 that will be the only one that's actually going to give me progress. I really would rather not put junk on there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my 5, and if perhaps something good will happen. A queen. Well, that queen means that one of these jacks could perhaps move. If I move this, the 7, this 7 over there, then that is one space, and then I can't get any more. If I move this over, then I can move the jack. I'm not seeing a strong reason to do one or the other. This file has 4. This has 5. Okay, I guess what I'll do is I'll move this 7 over here. And here's an interesting question about, you know, I love atomic things. If I make this atomic, then that's sitting right on the top of the pile with an atomic unit. On the other hand, this is under has one fewer card under it. But on the whole, I'm gonna value that more than this, I guess. So I get that, and now I get yet another jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 8 jacks are now in play. And I now think there's not much to do but deal. I can just double check that. Is jack 8, 7, 2, 6, 5, 7, 6. No, I think that I can try the hint thing here. Yeah, see, even the hint says that it wants me to go for a deal. So I'll deal and then probably pause. Let's see. Okay. This is better than it looked when I first saw it. There are many cards here we can't move. We're not going to move any jacks. We're not going to move any queens. However, there is a 10 hidden under here, and there are a couple 4s to receive that 3, and I can therefore dig in this pile, which is what I'm going to do right away. And I also have the relevant stepping stone in terms of this 8 to get this 8 over here. I think I want it on that pile. 7, and I've gotten a 2, and I now have my first space. Maybe I should break out some champagne. I do see, let's see, there's still a 9. 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have a 4 and a 3, but these jacks aren't moving, as I've said before. One question, and this queen isn't moving, that queen's not moving. So column 4, I can't make any progress there. This column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is interesting because there is a receiving 9 and there's my 8. However, I'd need some good stepping stones to do this. I can get my 3 over onto the 4, I can put my 4 into the space, but I do not have something to receive that 5. And I can't see, there's a 6 here that could receive the 5 if it was free, but there's no place to put that 4, so that doesn't work there. Over here, we have a similar problem. The one place that we can uncover for free is this rightmost column. Now, see, for instance, a little detail there is, I might ask myself, well, gee, do I want to move this 8 first before I move the 7, or do I not? But with one space, I can actually put that off, okay? If I, even when the 8, now the 7's on the 8, if I said, oh, I should have put the 8 here, I can just go ahead and put it there. Because the space lets me do that. Okay, now I move my 2, and I get another 2. That was not my favorite card. In the land of making things more atomic, I can look around here. If I do move that 2, I can displace one of these 2 of spades, so it will at least be in suit. Okay, well, just in line with trying to be atomic, have many things as accessible as possible. Here's a tiny detail. See, I could put this 7 here and this 7 there, but there's a 9 of spades here and a 9 of hearts there, and better on the whole, all else being equal, to put the hearts in the same pile and the spades in the same pile. So that much is done. I have 3 receiving 2s, so moving this ace sounds like a good idea. I could put this onto a 4 and then expose an ace, which is usually not a great thing to do. But I can put this, in fact, I'll put this ace over here, thinking this is more of a junk pile than number 7 is. But now it comes down to it. I have 2 choices for, I could put this jack in the space, or I could put the 2 in the space. This has 2 cards under it, that has 3. I will put the 2 in the space. And I'll just put this 2 of diamonds here, and I get a 9. Well, a 9 does not have any immediate value, and I dealt and thought about it, and then recorded a couple minutes and realized I was going up the wrong tree, so I started over again from the deal. Highest priority here is to get the space, and we have 1 king. We simply take the space like that. The other thing we can do easily is to expose that card under the jack when there were 3 queens that were in a position to receive it. I'm not sure why exactly I'm doing this, but I'm going to put it over onto this one. Now, where I had gone wrong before was thinking that I could move this column 7 and deciding I couldn't, but now I think actually I can. In terms of things that won't move, these 4s won't move. That's an important thing to note, okay? So those columns are out. The king column is out. No queens can move anymore. This column could, we have the right stuff to move this column, because we have a receiving 10 for the 9 and we have a receiving 9 for the 8, but I think it's just too complicated to get it all done. At least that's my assumption for now. And however, this column here can be done after all. I thought maybe it couldn't, because I'd gone here to do this much, and said, well, how can we make any progress here? Um, but then I realized that if we move this 9, then we have a stepping stone 4 that shows up, which should allow us to do it. So for instance, if we put this 3-2 back here, put this 3-2 over here, move this in suit. Now we can move the 4 into the space and the 5 onto the 4. And we, see, here's pause to put our diamonds together a little better. Now we can actually expose this card. And we're going to get a 4. Well, we didn't want a 4 because those are the cards that wouldn't move, and they still won't move. So we've used up the cards that would let us do anything here. The obvious thing to do is to just put this 7-6 in the space, though noting first that I can improve it by making an in-suit club move. Oh, a 3, that's wonderful. We have at least 2 receiving 4s, so we can do that. And we get a king. Well, kings are usually not our favorite, though, you know, when you have queens on the board, that's really the only way to move them. Let me pause and look about this a second. What I see here is something that ordinarily you wouldn't think is very possible. We have no spaces. However, this Lessmove column with 3 rank breaks in it can be done. And the reason is we have so many stepping stones that everything just works out. The queen can go on the king, that's the start. Here's ace onto a stepping stone, 2 onto a stepping stone, and now 3. Well, let's see, can we actually, yes, we can keep this atomic during this maneuver here. I think we can actually keep this atomic too. But anyway, we have a place for this 3 here, and we also now have a place for this 2 ace, and then we finally have a place for the jack. And we uncovered a card under circumstances where I would not have thought it likely. You know, a space or 2 here could be great. This is a simple in-suit move. And I can pause yet once more here. I didn't see anything useful to do before the deal, so I dealt. My immediate priority here is to get this 1 space back, which I can do by simply moving these 2 cards. Here is a pile with just 1 card under it. It's really, really nice when you can get 2 spaces. And I guess I will first move this 10 over to here. And I can move this 5 over to here because I got a bunch of diamonds together. So now the yellow of the 8 goes in the space. It's going to come right back as soon as I expose that 9. So here we do that much. And here is an ace, a 2. And now we have 2 spaces because here we have a 3 that exposed to end up with that. And so now, again, we have things to think about. We have no way to easily move 4s. So this and this are still going to be problematic. These kings, and if we ever got there, this would be problematic too. These, and of course we've got kings here. We've got this pile here, which is complicated and would require a 9 and a 10. Over here, we can dump our 3-2 in the space Um, but it will also let me take a look to see if there's important things to do in terms of building up suits. Looking into this a bit deeper, I think we may be in pretty good shape because we have a diamond suit. All the cards in the diamond suit are right here in pile 8. That may not be easy to get them, but they're there. We also have an entire spade suit on the board, which initially looked pretty grim because it was under here, but if we can actually get the diamonds off, then that's a major step. This king is going to take up a space. This queen can go on this king, though alternatively we may use this queen over here. We'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, hold your hat and see how it goes. See if I've got this right. Okay, so here goes our space. But now I do a swaparoo with spades and clubs. And I am in reasonable shape. Here I got that 9 of diamonds is over there. So it actually came out quicker than I thought. Now here there is a question here. I have a receiving king. If I put this queen onto it, then I lose that receiving king. Now, do I want to move a queen? Well, I might very well want to move this queen. On the other hand, I need to give up a receiving 2 in order to pull that off. But I think it's probably better because I will be able to then hopefully dig in there better. So here we go this way. Here goes the queen here. Here goes the jack. And there goes a diamond suit. Now I had said that the spades were all here, and maybe what I just said didn't much matter because I have to move this queen anyway to get at the king of spades. But let's just go ahead. Okay. The jack of spades is under here. No, there's one over here too. Okay. So I have a couple of possibilities, but under the circumstances, I can just do that. Now, when removing a suit, as I have mentioned a couple times before, if you have 2 kings to build it on, you sometimes want to choose carefully which one. This, however, is, I believe, the only king of spades. Okay, so what else can we do to build this up? We can put together the jack to 7 here. There's a 6 there, but the 5 is up here. Now see here, the 4 is over, the 3-2 is over here. And the ace is there. So it looks like I will have to give something up, probably. I don't think I want to go under this, put this king in the space unless I have to. So as long as I keep with my plan, I have to do this thing here. Now we have a little spade heart improvement to do. I did an next bit of analysis and then realized that I did not have the record button going. So I rewound, undid into the previous situation, and I will now give an abbreviated version of what I said, I hope. I had talked about removing the spades, but this is just going to be too difficult. It'll take up too many spaces even if I could do it. I need to, I can get the 6-5 here, that's no problem. But the 4 is up here and the 3 is up here, and this requires 1 space to get at the 4. This requires 2 spaces if you actually want to get the 3 out of there, which we do. So instead of removing a suit, I'm simply going to try to clean things up and, hope that the last deal does better for us. So this column is the one where I want to start anyway. Um, so now, column 8 here is, it's got 11 of the spades. I mean, we need these others, or other ones may show up in the last deal, okay? And now I can look at hearts, say. We don't have a king of hearts, so we can't do any heart candidate starting from there. But my judgment here was that getting some progress in here would be worth it. There are valuable cards up there, including that 4 of spades. But there are other valuable cards like hearts too. So I give up a space like this. Now I can put the hearts together. That's one compensation of that. And I'd sort of hoped that I could dig deeper in this column, but my ultimate decision was that I effectively couldn't pull it off. So I'm going to try to put these clubs together as best I can. I could, here's the Queen Jack, 9 to 6, 4, 3, 2 ace there. Got the kings over there. But I can't actually get them quite in the same place. So given that situation, I simply put this 4 in the space, get an 8, which is not what we wanted, and then I can pause and think. I've started from this point twice already and come up with misanalyses and stopped and gone back, and I suppose given a no undo rule, that means I've lost a couple times. But I'll just briefly say I had one idea was to remove the spades. Another idea was to get this king of spades into the space, expose this 4 of hearts, and then use that 4 of hearts to both expose a card there and perhaps expose this card over there. But I just don't have enough to make it work. So we're stuck in the position of uncovering cards and hoping we get the right cards when we uncover them. Now, I believe the one place where we can actually uncover cards without having to give up space is over here, though now perhaps I look at it, I'm a bit short on that. No, let's see, okay. Anyway, this is a good place to look. I am pretty sure we would give up, if we go over to look for cards here, we have to give up a space for the 3-2. If we go here, we have to give up a space for the 10. These are kings. Here we give up a space for the 9, I mean, with that 8. Here, I guess we, maybe I think we give up a space too, but it's the best I can think of. Yeah, we've given up a space for the 6 of diamonds, okay? But I'm just going to live with it. We get a 5 of hearts. Well, that certainly keeps us alive. Was that the card we were missing? That is the heart card we were missing. Now down to 1 space, our chances of pulling this off are a lot less than they would have been. I just have this intuition. I mean, I could put the king in the space, the queen to 7 in the space, but to get to this 6, I just don't have what it takes, I say. So what do? I put the 5 on the 6. What do we get? We get a 3. 3, we need like a hole in the head. But what can we do? Put it in the space and get an ace, and that's even worse. And so I would say, basically, we've lost. Okay. However, I'm going to try. I suppose I should pause a moment here and say, well, have we lost? We could move this over here, but I don't see any way to really go from here. So anyway, we call this a loss. After various undos and attempts, none of them really worked. So it is just one of those complete losses. And that's the way the game goes sometimes. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.